Welcome to Next Level Conversations. I am your hostess, Renette Upson-Bush, and we have real, timely topics and authentic conversations to empower women to walk in their purpose and their power and to go to their next level. It's time to stop living and watching other people's dream and step into your own. It's time for next level conversations. Let's go. All right, all right. We are so excited to be here tonight, and we have Miss Ella Inspires. She is a soul purpose coach. I am Renette Upson-Bush, the CEO and founder of the Next Level Nation and Next Level Chicks. And we are here at Next Level Conversations, and we will be here every night, every Sunday at 8 o'clock p.m. And so we want you all to set your calendars, mark your calendars, set your clocks, and be ready to join us in these awesome conversations that we will be having. So what I want to talk about first is some of the things we have coming up in the Next Level Nation. And the first one is the Weekend of Greatness. I'm super excited about this event. This is the signature event of the Next Level Nation, and it is happening in Orlando, Florida on November 30th through December 2nd. And I want to talk about this because this transforms lives. It is a way to really fill your cup at the end of the year when we start to lose momentum. It is time to get yourself on fire so that you can end the year strong and step into 2024 like the boss you are. Step into 2024 on fire. So day one, Thursday, we have Hip Hop Day, and that's going to be really good because we know how they did not expect hip hop to last. And as we move forward as women in careers and businesses, a lot of people don't think we'll last, but we're going to talk about that. And then that later on that evening, we are having prayer, purpose, and pajamas, and our own Coach Ella Inspires will be there doing her meditation healing, and it is amazing. So you don't want to miss that. Then Friday, we're waking up. We're doing the money mindset and manifestation. All of those things can be yours, anything and everything you want. So we have amazing speakers that are coming to teach and talk to you. And we also have Karen and Connie from Firepower, where we will be breaking the board, a mindset thing that we're going to be stepping into. And then that evening, we have the gala. Oh my gosh. Well, we're going to be awarding 5 women from the community that have done different things to impact the community in Orlando. We're also going to be celebrating every woman at the gala. So we're super excited about that. And you all will get to meet the Next Level Chicks as well. And then on Saturday, this is how it all started with the Table of Greatness. Woo! We were red, okay, our power color, and we go to work. I mean, we're going to be working the whole time. We're going to be working on us. Hey, Angela. And so we're going to be working on us and our next year doing the work. By the time you leave, you will have a whole plan for 2024. This is a true game changer. So we will put the link in the comments, and you need to make sure that you get your ticket. Okay? Don't talk about it, but be about it.
Get your ticket.
Okay? The next thing we have, I'm super excited on this Thursday. It is September 28th. We have our very own Next Level Chick, Angela Williams. She will be presenting Unlocking the Power of Self-Awareness. And she is bad, okay? That will be happening in the self-development group for Next Level Women. So if you're not in that group, you want to make sure you get in that group, okay? And the last thing that we have, the last 2 things, prepare for my next level. That is my 6-week signature course that helps you to gain clarity, confidence, and consistency so that you can go to your next level and do the things that you want to do, not just hope, not just wish, not just think about or dream about, but really do and be about. That course is amazing. So look out. That's coming, coming, coming. And we got something for the entrepreneurs too. We have the visibility incubator. That is for entrepreneurs that have been in business for 1 to 3 years. We have a 16-week program, myself and my operations manager, Latoya Frazier. Oh my God, it is going to take you to a whole nother level. We're going to get you set up to know who your ideal client is, know everything about them, know how to do your sales, get your money story together. I mean, it goes on and on. So by the time we finish, you're going to launch. And if you're in the incubator, you come to it, you also get a table of great, weekend of greatness ticket. And we have a mastermind retreat in January. So, yeah, we got a lot going on in the Next Level Nation. Okay. So thank y'all all for joining. I'm super happy, super excited. This is the relaunch of Next Level Conversations. I started this 2 years ago in 2021. Yes. And I only got a few shows off, and then life hit again. Life was lifing. Okay. And that happens, but we got to get back up. So today we are back. We are launching, and this is a show where we're going to talk about next level topics. Y'all heard what it said. We're going to be talking about money, mindset, self awareness, self care, all of those things. And we'll have special guests. So make sure that you join us. Today, I have to introduce our special guest. Oh my God, she is a powerhouse. She is a rock star. She is a superstar. She is around here healing souls. She is the soul purpose coach. Her name is Coach Ella Inspires. Miss Ella Inspires. I want to introduce to some and reintroduce to others the amazing queen, Miss Ella Inspires.
Oh, wow. I am excited. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you for that intro. Um, I wouldn't expect anything else coming from you. I just wouldn't. That's awesome. I'm excited to just be a part of your relaunch tonight.
Yes, I'm so excited to be here and that this is actually happening. What I am so excited about is I know that you have something in store for everybody that is here tonight. So if you have people, tag them right now, invite them, share this out. I'm looking on my page. I'm not understanding why it's not here, but whatever the case may be, share this out because people need this. Tonight, we are talking about offenses and letting go of bitterness. So many people are stuck in that space and place. And so, what I do know in life, we have three things: we have death, we have taxes, and we have offenses.
Yeah.
And those offenses are a real problem because some people are holding on to stuff for too long. They don't want to let go. And this is not anything new. This has happened way, way back when. And this is something that causes people to stay stale, stuck, and stagnant. They cannot move out of their own way because they're holding on to the spirit of offense. And so, as we talk about the spirit of offense, we're talking about someone who has been hurt by someone, or you might have been the person who has hurt someone. And so we need to talk about that. Miss Coach Ella, how prevalent is the spirit of offense today?
When when I think about offense, I go beyond. So I go to the next phase. What did they leave you with?
Mm,
Because that's important. What did they leave you with? Did they leave you with bitterness? Did they leave you with anguish? Are you angry at God or whatever you reference God? God has many sub names, but what did they leave you with? And that's where we begin to work at those issues, those things that begin to consume you. because that's what happens. It begins to consume you. Now you're thinking about it every day. Now you're talking about it with everyone or people that know about the offense that happened. But is there depression that's setting in? Because most people that are depressed, I bet you if you ask them, is forgiveness a part of your matter? And unforgiveness probably is. And so I meet you right where unforgiveness is. We don't have to really go back to what actually happened, the offense, but what did it leave you with and where we can begin to heal from there. So that's how you can begin to hone in on to get to the other side to forgiveness. And then there's other layers. There's layers where you begin to start working at forgiving the person that harmed you. So whether that was someone that murdered your mother or a loved one, or maybe you was harmed by an ex-partner. So you get into a phase where now you can forgive yourself, but then now we can move on to go higher and forgive that person that harmed us. That right there, that's deeper work. That
Absolutely. That is really deep work. And so the problem is, as we talk about these offenses, people will never get to the deep work because they don't get to the space and place where they are processing it. They struggle to let go. They live in a space of resentment. They live in a space of bitterness, sadness, depression, and a whole array of other emotions that are keeping them emotionally, mentally, spiritually, and sometimes even physically, because when this is happening,
mhm,
your
mhm,
body
mhm.
can be attacked because it's dealing with the offense. And so people have got to understand that offenses should be addressed. And the reason that many people won't address them is because they're stuck in their ego. They're stuck in their
Mhm.
pride. But that's not helping you to move forward.
Well, and then here's one thing too. I some people believe that if, for instance, my story, when my loved one was harmed, I felt that it would be an honor, a dishonor to them if I did not hold on to that unforgiveness. So here, when you have a loved one or someone that has been done ill, you want to make sure that you're helping them as well. But if you don't know how to, because you feel that if I forgive or if I let go of this, that means the person gets off hook, is off the hook. And unforgiveness means that my body is now receiving everything that unforgiveness brings. So hypertension. It's even studies shown that cancer is a part of people having unforgiveness in their life. And the studies have grown tremendously in that area. So now we're looking at people, what has unforgiveness caused them in their life. So now you're dealing with illnesses, diseases in the body because of unforgiveness has settled in and you haven't dealt with it. So when I begin to ask people, what do you want? Do you want to suffer? Because unforgiveness is suffering. You can't even get to forgiveness until you deal with the unforgiveness.
Right.
So, do you want to suffer? Do you want to struggle? So, how can you move to that next phase? And I'm going to show you a tool that you can begin to start working on unforgiveness.
Right. And so we have to really process this. So as I go back to my childhood, as children, we had a lot of arguments with maybe our siblings and different friends in school and stuff like that. And, we'll say sticks and stones will break my bones, but words can never harm me. Well,
Yeah.
as we grow older, we realize that words really do harm us. And so when we're children, we can get over and get through a lot of stuff quickly. But
Mm-hmm.
as adults, we hold on to these offenses because we've been in friendships, we've been in relationships, we've been in situationships for 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 years. And now all of a sudden, bam, it's cut off. That person has offended you. And so now you just like blindsided. I have been through that and it hurts. And so it is a space and place that you have to go to if you really plan on healing, of processing those types of hurts, those
You
types
do.
of offenses.
You
Because
do.
as an adult, it's some higher stakes, right?
Hmm.
Talk about like,
However, we do carry things from our childhood
yes,
into
we do,
our
we do,
adulthood.
we do.
That's where we don't trust people. That's where, we become consumed. That's where the suffering starts, especially in your teen years.
Yes,
If you've been damaged along the way, then that begins to set in. But, we can get to a different place to where when you begin to deal with it, when you begin to assess where you are with your own life and how you're processing or taking things too personally. And that's what I've had to do recently. I had a 30-year relationship with a good friend for years. I was there for them and they were there for me. And all of a sudden we just split like the Red Sea, just departed our ways. And so if we did communicate, things would never be the same. And
right,
do you want that relationship like that? And so you just learn to process it, you deal what you need to deal with, and then you move forward. Now it's time to move forward because we have the free will to choose.
absolutely,
We
absolutely,
have the free will to choose. And a lot of times that's where we get stuck at. We realize we're in this box, but we don't have to be there. And
right,
that's where the struggle comes in.
absolutely. But a lot of people feel like, oh, like you said, do I want the relationship? Just
Mhm.
because a lot of people aren't even processing, do I want the relationship? So they might have just decided, I don't want it. I don't want it. But okay, that's fine. But
Mhm.
have you processed it? That's the whole thing. Because just because you don't want it, don't mean you don't need to process it. And so when I talk about children, I don't mean no, they just get over it, like little pity patty stuff. But
Yeah.
there are things that we have dealt with, especially people that are in their 40s, 50s, and beyond. What happens in the house stays in the house. All those secrets have
Yes.
caused many, many offenses,
Yes.
and we
Yes.
haven't been able to talk about it. And like you said, it's brought about so many different things that have caused us to hold on to offenses, that have caused us to not trust people, that have caused us to maybe hate people who
Mhm.
have
Mhm.
something look like, seem like, act like, because
Yeah,
we're offended. And
that's right.
so if we don't process, we stay bitter, we stay hurt, we stay holding on, and we get consumed. And we don't want to be in the space and place where we live our lives consumed. You got one life.
Yeah,
And so you don't want to spend it being offended. You don't want to go to the grave with that offense, right?
that is true. I'm glad that you said that because it's about surrendering. When we learn to surrender, when we learn to be able to tell our truth, we don't have to go back to the actual act of what someone said or did. If I begin to deal with the resentment, if I begin to deal with the guilt, if I begin to deal with saying, I'm sorry to myself. So be forgiving yourself is the real matter here because no matter if someone else has harmed you, offended you, you still need to have that power to say, I forgive you. And I wanted to do an exercise if we have time.
Well,
We
we do. We know
have
this is coming, and I want to make sure you do that. Also, if you all have questions, please put them in the comments so that we can address your questions because this is next level, all things next level. And what I do know is if you are holding on to those offenses, it is
mhm,
stopping your next level. You might feel like I'm okay, but one day it's gonna break you down.
yeah,
And then if you go to your grave with a hurt heart because you haven't forgiven, because you're holding on. And as
yeah,
you know, I mean, we're grown. We know forgiveness is for us. We know that. We've heard that. But a lot of people don't even believe that.
that's true.
And
That
so
is true.
that's just a problem. And so we continue to hold on to something that is not helping us to grow. And we can't continue to live like that and expect to go to our next level. It just doesn't happen. So what are you gonna do? And so these are things that we're getting ready to talk about. And
Mhm.
Coach Ella is going to do an exercise that is going to be very powerful to help you to let go of your offense. Miss Ella?
You know, I also wanted to say that as we learn to surrender, as we begin to say aloud, I surrender. It's very simple tools to help us. In the course, of course, I take us through writing exercises and homework, etc. But for right now, I wanted to just do these two exercises. One is just to say out loud, I surrender. And you place your hand over your heart and you breathe. I surrender.
I surrender. Yes, Remedy.
And when you
I
begin, is someone asking a question? Because I can't see on my side.
I don't see any questions yet. I see comments.
Okay. And so as you do that, you can do that on a day-to-day basis. You don't have to be in the mindset that you have already forgiven, but you can do the act as if you're already there. Does that make sense?
Oh, total sense. Does that
Yeah,
make sense to everybody? Because even though it's not in the physical, you're doing it. And so that's going to release your heart. That's
that's
going to release you. And
that's
that's what we want to do. It's not, so many times people think it's about the other person. And it's not about other people all the time. Sometimes it might be,
yes,
especially if you were the offender.
yes.
But many times it's about you, taking care of you, doing what is necessary so that you can move past the offense.
That is true. And even when you have a relationship and you have communicated, it doesn't mean that it has been reconciled. So now we're talking about reconciliation with the relationship. Maybe you did do your part to forgive them, but maybe they haven't. Maybe they refuse to forgive. And so you have to know that you already shared your power to be able to help them to say where are they when it comes to unforgiveness, and they may not be ready to release that for you, but you have to know that you did your part, because that can cause you to be stuck too, and that can cause you to feel some resentment. But that's where you do the work. I surrender. I surrender. I surrender, until you get to a place where now you can begin to really feel it. It's like giving thanks until it's really there. And now you're drawing in a different energy to be able to help you to get to that place. And then the second one is as you sit in front of a mirror, as you gaze at yourself, because now we're doing some mirror work. And this is something I used to do in my course with
I
forgiveness too.
love mirror work. I do that as well.
Yes, it is so powerful. So you take the mirror or you stand in front of a mirror and you're gazing at yourself. And after a few minutes or so has passed, I want you to say out loud, and as you place your hand on your heart, I let you down, because now we're talking about something that maybe you, the other person may have done, not just not just the offender. Maybe you offended someone, because sometimes it's a two-way street.
Yes.
We have to look at that as well. So I let you down and I am sorry. Now, this, I'm a stickler when it comes to saying sorry, but this is a space where you say openly, I am sorry. And then you respond, place your hand on your heart and say, I forgive you.
Miss Ella, I want to get in there too. This very, to me, when I do that practice, I make sure that I say I am, and just like you did. A lot of people say I'm sorry. Don't leave out the am. Have it all in. I
I
am.
am.
That's
I
very
am. Yes. Because after that is one of the most powerful words that you can ever use when after your I am. And so when I look at how this has impacted my life, I did this work for 30 days consistently. That's how I got to the other side, because I could smile now. You know that you've gone places in your life, and the experiences, see, it's the experiences now that you can talk about. It's the experiences now that you can move beyond, and now you can go the beyond the forgiveness and begin to do the work to say, I forgive the person that harmed. And
absolutely,
then you begin to call their name out. So it's a whole process that you can go through for that. And that frees you up even more. Now your heart is even lighter. Now your heart is lighter than a feather. Now, when you hear certain things, even that person's name, you don't get all bunched up, all up in a, a tizzy behind it. You can just be your free self. And that's what life is about, being free, living here, not in bondage, not struggling, not suffering, because unforgiveness is suffering.
that
Unforgiveness is
is
suffering. And so
totally
that's what we end up doing. So I wanted to leave us with that. Um, as you place your hand over your heart, remember to look in the mirror and say those words. I let you down and I am sorry, because that's the energy. Now you're beginning to help your body forgive yourself. And a lot of times that's where forgiveness needs to start, is with ourselves.
absolutely. It must start with you. It's got to.
Yeah,
It's hard to forgive anybody else, and you haven't even forgiven yourself.
that's
Well,
right.
this has been really powerful. I love the comments. I love women's engagement and the participation that you're putting everything. I'm just now seeing the comments like where I could really see them. I wasn't even able to respond, but thank you, thank you, thank you. And make sure if you have not shared this out that you share it out. Again, if you're not in a self development group, get in there because Coach
Hmm.
Ella is going to be doing a forgiveness session in there. She'll give you the date, but this Thursday we have Angela. She's going to be talking about self awareness. All of this is going to go together to
Yeah,
help you deal with offenses. So make sure that you are in here. We're going to be on every Sunday with Hot Topics. Coach Ella has some things coming up along with Coach Remedy. So, Coach Ella, this Ella inspires. You have
we have more things coming up in alignment with self development, healing, domestic violence, breast cancer awareness, and that's October 22nd from 1 to 4 p.m. Follow us for that information at The Voices United. And you can go there and get more information on what we're doing. We'll have assorted of speakers to come and just give us more awareness on those areas that are so prominent in our heart, in our lives, in so many lives. When I think about what Coach Remedy and I have experienced together with domestic violence, and just knowing that the power to come together, to collab together, is beneficial to so many women, along with breast cancer awareness. My Power in Your Purpose course and Power of Forgiveness course will be in November, and I will have those dates available. So continue to follow Miss Ella. You can follow Miss Ella anywhere. Just start typing Miss Ella and it'll come up. Miss Ella Inspires. This has been a moment to start helping people to release and let go. You don't have to go into the next year holding on to resentment and being consumed with unforgiveness. Because one thing that we learned is hurt people. And it's time for us to heal together. And we can do that intentionally. We can come together and begin to heal. I'm just knowing that this is a space, Renette. I really thank you for making this a space for someone to receive what we have been sharing here tonight, because that's what it's all about, being able to reach other people, to help them to see that they don't have to continue to live and suffer
Absolutely.
through unforgiveness.
Definitely. Definitely. You have been amazing. I'm just so happy that you for your yes. I'm super excited that you are a next level chick.
Yes, yes.
Um, just everything that's happening. This has been very powerful. And I think that we really need, I see Remity's comment about the unforgiveness festers and turns into diseases, and that is so true. And so that's why we thought it was so important to bring this to you. And every Sunday at 8 o'clock, most of the time we'll be live if I'm here. Sometimes it'll be recorded, but we want you to be here to join these important conversations that are going to take you to the next level.
That's
Very, very important. I want to make sure I've been trying to get in these comments and put like a link to the weekend of greatness and all of that, but I'm struggling here. I don't know. Put it in here. I think I finally came in the comments. Every time I get in, it's like, ugh, and it just throws me out. So this, if you all get around different spaces and places and women that are going to new levels, women that are bringing positivity, that's
Mhm.
going to make so much of a difference. I know it changed my whole life, and helped me to start to let go of many of the things that I've been through. So we
and
are.
you know, Renette, I want to talk about that too, because when I joined Next Level, I just want to share that real quick. I hope we have time. It's been a game changer for me in my life. I haven't looked back since then. And when I mean the sisterhood has come and support you in everything that you do, if you let them know, they're there to support you. And I think that's one of the beautiful things that happens in your group. And one thing about you, you help us to be accountable for ourselves. Did you say you was going to do that? Have you done that? Because we need to be about it. If you want to see growth, you need to be about it. What you say you're going to do, you need to take action to make it happen. And that's the beauty of the group that we participate in, that we come together. It's phenomenal. It's phenomenal. There has been nothing but growth and admiration for the leaders that are there, and the support that we get if we need something. And what I like about individually is you call us to make sure that we're doing what we need to do. So it's not just a group check-in, it's an individual. You make sure that you take time to check in on us. And
Yeah,
that's been a game changer for me.
we do chick checks because we want everybody to get
Yes,
to the next level. We have no plans to leave people behind. So, yes.
I
Thank
highly
you so much.
recommend. Highly recommend anyone that's looking to be connected. And don't believe the naysayers when they say women can't get along, because that's not true. We have all gotten along, and we're about to come together for another year to sound off another year of coming together to celebrate one another. So it's been a beautiful ride.
Yes, next stop, Costa Rica.
Yay!
We get ready.
Going down. It's going down. I love it. I love it. It's
Y'all
going
get
down.
connected. It is a great group. If you really want to
It
develop,
is.
personal development, self-development, this is it. And one of the things that's very important to me is helping women to go to the next level. It's a
That's
hard
right.
process for me. And
Yeah.
because I'm doing it, I want to help as many women as I can do the same thing. All of us are in the group. We all look out for each other, as Coach Ellis said. And
Mm.
so when we do open up at the Weekend of Greatness, we love to have those people that feel like they are aligned and they want to be in a different space and move to a higher level. We have stuff for you to help you
Yeah.
grow and grow. I'm
Yeah.
about showing up so you
Yeah.
can grow. Thank y'all so much for joining every day in every way. Make sure you keep it next level. And this has been the relaunch of Next Level Conversations. Talk to you later.